and it should go back to the full passage. It's a remarkable change from the past. There is a 1/3 reduction in the total number of sections that is there, a huge amount of simplification. Because if you saw the earlier Act of Income Tax Act, you would have a section and then a provided and then a proviso and then a proviso and then a proviso. You're in the 5th proviso, you've forgotten where you began. This used to be the problem. I think that was required and I think that simplification was done. So you have a modern tax act which is simple. But there are other issues which have to be addressed, and that's what the consultative group is actually doing. And as Dr. Puni has mentioned, it's come up to a consultative process. It's not a one-sided thing. It's a two-way thing. Discussion, formulation, discussion again, and then formulation. And that's how best tax jurisdiction in the world prepare laws. Having said that, let's come to today's report. And what are the areas they're working in? They're working on how do I improve FDI. To get FDI, today is one similar report. They're coming out with 2 other reports, one on financial sector, one on services sector. In about 2 months' time, those 2 reports will come out. They're also working on ease of doing business issue, which is decriminalization, dispute settlement. We'll have that report in another 15 days. The one on decriminalization is actually ready, it's got for printing. They're also looking at simplifying the tax processes and laws. One of the issues, for example, is TDS. There are so many different rates of TDS. 2%, 5%, 10%, 15%. Now, I am the person who has to deduct the TDS. I think that the rate at which I have to deduct is 10%. And I deduct it and I deposit it. You are the tax authority, you suddenly think that the rate is 15%, and you think I have not deducted 15%. I actually am doing your service. I am collecting tax collection on your behalf. And now you are penalizing me for not having collected. Am I to be blamed? So what happens is, what should be a friendly relationship becomes an adversarial relationship. So we will be coming out with reports on TDS and how do you do appeals and how do you reopen cases. We are also looking at futuristic areas. Making our tax system future ready. If you are in India of 2047, you need to have a tax system that is modern. A lot of the tax systems in India were designed when you had a paper and pen process. Today everything is electronic, your accounts are filed electronically to the registrar of companies and to the SEBI or whatever. Why do our tax systems not be actually aligned with these modern processes? So we are going to come out with reports on that. And also, how do you use behavioral pattern to improve tax compliance? After all, when your child does well in an examination, you give him a chocolate, right? Now, the chocolate is actually after the examination, but it still influences the behavior because you'll get a chocolate before the exam itself. Similarly, this is behavioral insights. Can we improve tax performance? A lot of people who know that they can file a tax return easily don't know that they can file it easily. If you do that, they think it's a complex process, you have to go through chartered accountants and all. So I think this is it. Coming